Posted it. Posted. Oh, we're talking about it. Let me do the dance stream.
All right, this time I seem to have got my timing down. I also wanted to talk about, before we go back to the debates, I want to remind everybody this Sunday is one of the greatest days of the year. It is opening day for football.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
You know, I should have brought in the theme music. Dun, dun. I'm looking forward to it. I know the ridicule will be dun, dun. And I'm
there you go. There you go.
Yeah, way to go, Boots. Nice one. Nice one. I'm going to regret saying this on the air, and I know Arvin's going to field the emails and the text, but I, yes, am a die-hard Cowboys fan.
Sounds like you're going to die this year, too.
And we're, you know, hey, again, we're looking strong, and the season will start on Sunday. I'll be looking forward to the ridicule. I'll make sure that we update everyone as we go throughout the season. If you hear tears in my voice next Wednesday, it'll be simply because we lost our order.
It's all about the Jets, baby.
Be that as it may. So, don't forget, football after you watch the 9/11 memorials. We want to jump into something else. This is not me. Arvin is hung up. I shared with him the other day that I was laughing at where this country is headed. And one of the things that was a headline on one of the news channels was pregnant women bikini contest in heels.
Woo, yeah.
And Arvin went, I mean, it was like a pit bull on a pork chop. Arvin went nuts.
A pit bull on a pork chop.
Or a pit bull on a little town.
It was, yeah, Arvin went crazy. So I'm going to give Arvin this one. This is all you, sir.
Oh, me? Jeez, I don't know if you're going to go with this one or the best party school in America, but I got to say, I think we have to have a pregnant bikini. A pregnant bikini. Wow, if anybody's watching, I hope they get e-feels
It's
on
just,
the computer.
You know, again, I've always said, and Mike knows this because Mike's got like 9 children. And then the 4 wives that he's got.
I was going to say 9, but how many that he doesn't know about?
Well, between Mike's 9 and Hector's 6, I want to say that there's no such thing as an unattractive pregnant woman. I think.
Not, you know, babe, I love you. You only will phone me.
You know, pregnant women have this glow about them. They have this energy, this sense. I think pregnant women are beautiful. Covered. Okay, but walking around in a bikini
first
with
off,
the hooker pumps bothers me.
They had to be uncovered in order to get pregnant in the first place.
Well, not necessarily. But obviously, you didn't go to health class in high school.
I was going to say, wow, this is about to take an immediate turn here somewhere.
Okay, so have we covered it, Arvin? Are we done with this? Did we discuss it?
I guess.
Can we get? Okay, thank you.
Because the last conversation we had is that we were going to do a pregnant bikini contest here for our show.
No. That
man. and that meant that you will all get a chance to see Arvin in a bikini.
Wow. Wow. You know what, man? Boots is on fire today. He's just loving it. That's
Hey, Boots. You know what? We're doubling your salary today.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time Boots looks at me over here, I always get a finger. But it's not the finger I'm looking for, right?
Maybe. Now, there you go. That's your finger right there, baby. All right, real quick, let's get into Hector. Is there anything you wanted to cover that I didn't bring up?
No. I'm here. Whatever the topic is.
Mikey?
I'm good.
No, I mean, I think everything. The one good thing I heard about is going to be a giant sale of crocodile skin boots. I'm thinking bikinis. And belts out of the Philippines this week.
Yes.
Because they caught that big beast.
What was it?
21 feet, 1,200, was it 1,200 and like...
No,
it was
a ton. It was a ton.
Yeah, it was 2,300 pounds or something like that. But they're saying that there's something bigger out there that they're already looking for.
Yeah, because they apparently a lot of villages were disappearing, and when they opened this one up, there was no human remains in there.
What did you hear? I think it was back in June or July. It actually got a fisherman, but I think about a year ago, they actually found a body of, I think it was a 12-year-old girl missing her head. Like, it just bit the head right off. And so after that, they're like, we got to get this thing.
Well, that's something that Chupacabra would do. That doesn't need to be a crocodile.
Really? We're going to go down that road now?
Okay, for all our non-Latin people, why don't you tell them what that means? Let's see if you can translate that on over.
All right, first of all, Mike comes from a third world country, okay? And over there, they have these deformed goats.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you a question. Does Puerto Rico even have an airport?
Yes, Bill, it does. It actually has two.
It does? Wow. I thought
You
you
got a
had
witness in the house.
Yes,
man. He's
yes.
flown into it many times.
Well, I mean,
maybe he floated it
cautiously
on,
flown in there, but
he
yeah.
floated in on a boat is more like it.
Oh, wait. Well, but you gotta hate on the brother like that, man.
Sorry, man.
Why
My
you touching me, man?
mic's over here messing with my headphones. All of a sudden, I can't hear. Then I can hear. Then he's loud. You know.
What are you doing underneath the table?
Yeah, I know.
Mike?
It's bothering me on so many levels. For those of you also, remember tomorrow as part of our show, we're going to talk about next week. We'll pick up where we left off on some of the politics. Tomorrow is the job speech. I recommend everyone. I know Hector's excited. We're going to be there with buckets of popcorn.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Right. Watch it, people.
The hell's he gonna
Take
say?
notes.
Of what not to do.
He's gonna. It doesn't matter, man, because whatever he comes up with, if there's
Put it
voting
this
against
way,
it, say, no,
the
it's
post
not
office is bankrupt and he's not willing to dish them out, but he's willing to go out there with everybody. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but come on, all right. You want to go in the post office? You want to talk
Post
about a
office,
business
yeah.
that's an absolute joke? Why is it that every other business, whether it was big steel, big auto, something goes wrong, they got to cut back, they got to do it. But because they're postal workers, we've hung on this long and we're over here crying the blues, but yet we're losing teachers at a record pace, things that matter. And again, I'm not against the postman, and I hope my postman's not listening because then he's not going to bring me my mail, which usually bills
You'll be in
anyway.
a box with something in it.
I don't know if mail gets delivered down a little dirt road in a little shack.
Okay, what I'm saying though is that, they're making it seem like, and I understand it's an American institution, okay, but let's be real.
No, but I think it's beyond that. I think for some people, it's beyond the fact that it's an American institution. It's the fact that it's one of the largest government employers out there, and in the state of the economy that we're in, why can't the government do something with it, and at least try to save some of those jobs? I mean, you got some people, some veteranos in there that have worked since the age of 16.
Do you see the tears? Do you see the
all the
tears?
way
No,
out.
you don't, right? Do you see the tears?
And well, because you're a Hitler.
You're right. And what's funny about that
Did you
is,
say he's a Hitler or a hater?
why are we having the same tears for our teachers? And
No,
again,
no,
to
I
your
agree.
point,
I mean,
why
I
are we
agree.
having the same tears?
I agree
when-
that the fact that yes, there's priorities. Teachers are extremely as important as everybody else, but I think there's got to be a way where either somehow, some way, these jobs have to be saved.
I think the post office. I don't know if the model is wrong because I'm no postmaster in general, but I mean it is pretty amazing that what's the cost of a stamp nowadays? I don't know.
47 cents.
47 cents. You can slap that stamp, and a day or two later, that letter or whatever is on the other side of the country. So they've done some things right, but I think they're gonna have to go eventually the way of FedEx and UPS. I mean FedEx and UPS, to compete.
But up until 6 years ago, see, here's the problem. Up until 6 years ago, they were funded on their own.
Right.
Based on postal rates. There was, so that we keep saying government employer, and yeah, they were regulated by the government. Yeah, they had to get permission from the government, but they weren't technically, funded by them. It was as any other private enterprise.
Neither were the airlines. Neither were the auto industry.
Sure. Again, what did they get though? They got a loan, not a constant bailout. Not
something could be done. I mean, it's just a matter of sitting down and thinking, what is the best way?
Fire half of them. That's
I
the
think
best way.
That's what's going to end up happening.
Okay, but the problem is though, we get all the bleeding hearts, and what's funny about that, you who don't care about anyone but your two sons,
well,
all of a sudden you're worried about the postman in Arkansas?
I was having a conversation with my post lady today, and just to hear her struggle, and given the fact she's the only breadwinner in her family, it's tough. Her husband's been laid off for 5 years, hasn't been able to get another job, and he does little odds and ends here and there, but not enough to continue to afford the lifestyle that they were once accustomed to. Now here comes a thread. This lady is like almost 55, 56, she was mentioning today. She's still working out. She's still walking the many miles. And just to hear her side of the story of how if they decide to lay her off, I mean, it's heartbreaking. Yeah, I mean, you start choosing violating and all that, but I understand. But you know what? It's something where, that's why I'm curious to find out, what is Obama's plan? Is that plan to also save jobs or I don't know. That's why I'm looking forward to it for tomorrow and see what kind of bowl he's going to end up creating.
Well, you know, it's funny. I'm sure with the advent of the World Wide Web here, and you know, our voice goes all over the place. There's got to be some old steel workers listening.
Right.
I'm sure they're rolling their eyes around saying, "Really? So where were the people thinking like you all those years ago when we were moving steel to China and you know other countries when those guys worked hard?"
Yeah, I agree.
But that's a different.
Yeah, but you're comparing out.
Well, no, but it's not because if we're talking about
the bulk of the jobs were moved because of incentives that the government gave those companies to move the jobs. It has nothing to do with
okay, but it comes back to what you're saying. The government, at some point, you're going to have to let the businesses run themselves, and if they can't survive, you know, it is what it is. You know, if all of a sudden, what is they're going to bail out McDonald's because Burger King comes up with better French fries and everybody goes to Burger King?
Well, as soon as they start opening up in whatever island that's left over that they're not in, I mean, they'll recoup.
Exactly.
All right, and that's our cue from Boots. He's telling us to get off the air and vacate the premises. I want to thank you for listening to another edition of the Three Guys Rant on AdrenalineRadio.com. As always, you can reach us online, and if you want to send anything explicit, it goes to Arvin at the3guysrant.com. Thanks for listening.
Why are you always pimping me out like that, Phil?
And any pregnant women that want to be on our pregnant bikini contest, send the pictures to Arvin as well.
At Arvin at the3guysrant.com. See you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Watch this fucker send me pictures of pregnant women.
Hey, really? Did you see the light?
Hey, bro, should've been on.
All right, Mr. Ocho.